Okay, so we're here with part two of real history. So now my next conspiracy, just something to think about here, is underground civilizations, hollow earth civilizations under our crust, or just beneath us, period. And many things that just make me theorize about this conspiracy that there may be underground civilizations. Um, let's just start with the movie Us by Jordan Peele. And black, you have this young black woman. And the situation happens where she goes to the carnival with her family. And whatever happens, she ends up getting swapped with basically a doppelganger of herself, to where, okay, so she gets replaced with her doppelganger that used to live underground, and now she's living in the real world above ground. So, and it's already known that there's millions of these tunnels and underground caverns, especially in America. So, and then also there's this hypothesis of Agartha, some underground civilization. And there was this, I believe, a general or officer named Admiral Byrd back in the day. And he had did this trip to Antarctica, to where he ended up allegedly going through this portal that took him underground, to where he's seen these advanced civilizations and what he called a crystal city. And so this crystal city, it kind of makes me think of the Wizard of Oz, like Emerald City. So what if Emerald City is real? Okay, maybe not the man behind the curtain, but the Emerald City. You also think of Alice in Wonderland, and she goes on this trip, and then eventually she goes underground, down into the rabbit hole. Okay, and then in this movie, Godzilla versus King Kong, you have a part where this jet is chasing King Kong, and then eventually King Kong falls down this hole into hollow earth, and the jet goes after them, and then boom, they're all of a sudden in this underground world. So, there's just some hypotheses. Also, you have this ancient story. It's just some kind of like Nation of Islam, kind of like cult thinking, but there's a story of Yaqub, who supposedly had founded the white race in revenge of his black enemies. So, but either way, in the story, they talk about this underground advanced civilization where humans, or whatever they're called, live forever. Like they have these cone heads and just big headed people, but they're said to live forever. And then some of them get exiled to the surface for mating with human beings, and then their life is shortened. So it's just some theories like that. So, maybe we know we have a hot core in the middle of the earth, but what if that hot core is really a second sun? So it's just different theories and civilizations. And yes, I'm using these different movies and cartoons, but why are there so many of these different ideas of these underground civilizations? Also, even back in the biblical days, we had the Great Flood. So maybe to avoid these floods, these giants and other different types of entities went underground. And we know we have, like, for example, like maybe underground bases. So who's to say what's really underground beneath the surface? Um, so it's just a theory to think about. Even when you think about the pyramids, like, the Great Pyramid of Giza, there's these underground tunnels and things that lead to the Queen Chamber, King Chamber, and just these underground tunnels and caverns. And so who's to say what they really actually lead to, or what was their purpose? So, um, this is just a theory of real history to make us think about, okay, what's really underground? Is there a hollow earth? Are there these underground ancient civilizations that maybe still be living but no below us? With advanced technology and living in crystal cities, as above, so below. Just something to think about.